It is the 1960s, and drive-in movie theaters have become the newest frontier for exploitation film directors to leave their mark on the industry. When, from the muck of the Florida Everglades, a new maverick film director rises. So for today's unboxing, we are going to be checking out Arrow Video's standard edition Blu-ray release of He Came from the Swamp, the William Grefé Collection. Jumping right into it, let's look at the differences between this version and the limited edition version. As you can see here, it does not have a hardcover slipcase. This is one of those thinner cardboard slipcases that is collapsible, but it is still done in a nice matte finish, so there's still a mark of quality. Spinning it around this way, you will see it also does not include the giant fold-out poster or that hardcover book. So you're missing out on that if you want to pick up this release. But if you're like me and not too familiar with William Grefé, this is a nice place to start. Spinning it around this side, you can see all the titles of the films that are included. Flip it around to the back real quick for you. And now, let's take out all these discs. For our first double feature, we have Sting of Death, along with Curse of Tartu. Quick look at the spine here. And spinning it around to the back. Now, let's pop this open. And we have a postcard here advertising that Shaw Brothers box set that's going to be coming out from Arrow later this year. And then we have the disc, and we have artwork for the Curse of Tartu on the reverse side. Now, bonus features for Sting of Death and Curse of Tartu. We've got 2K restorations of both films, original uncompressed mono audio, introductions with William Grefé, commentary with William Grefé and Frank Henenlotter, Beyond the Movie Monsters A Go-Go, a look into the history of rock and roll monster movies, The Curious Case of Dr. Trudeau, Spook Show Extraordinaire, a ghoulish look into the early Spook Show days with monster maker Doug Hobart, and original theatrical trailers. For our next double feature, we have got the Hooked Generation along with the Psychedelic Priest. Flip this over to the spine, and around to the back. Get a quick look on the inside here, and allow me to flip this to the reverse artwork. And onto the bonus features for the Hook Generation and the Psychedelic Priest. Of course, we've got 2K restorations of both films, original uncompressed mono audio, introductions with William Grefé along with audio commentary with William Grefé and Frank Henenlotter. Beyond the Movie, that's Drugsploitation, a look inside the counterculture films that inspired the Hook Generation. Beyond the Movie, The Ultimate Road Trip, the story behind the Psychedelic Priest, behind the scenes footage for the Hook Generation, and a still gallery for the Hook Generation. For our third double feature, we have The Naked Zoo along with Mako, Jaws of Death. Flipping it around to the spine, then a quick look at the back. Also, the inside so you can see the disc. And let's flip the artwork around. And now the bonus features for Naked Zoo and Mako Jaws of Death. Once again, 2K restorations for both movies with the original uncompressed mono audio, commentary and introductions with William Grefé, the original 92-minute director's cut of The Naked Zoo, painstakingly reassembled from various source materials, the alternate version of Naked Zoo re-edited by its original distributor, with added gratuitous nudity and a performance by Canned Heat, 100% non-director approved. Beyond the Movie, that's Sharksploitation, a deep dive into the history of shark films, The Aquamaid Speaks, an interview with Mako actress Jennifer Bishop, Sharks, Stalkers, and Sasquatch, an interview with Mako writer Robert Morgan, Mako Super 8 Digest version, the theatrical trailer and promos from Mako, and still galleries. And now for our final double feature, we have Whiskey Mountain along with the documentary They Came from the Swamp. Quick look at the spine, around to the back. Let's pop it open. Disc right there, and let's flip it around to the artwork for the documentary. Now for our final set of bonus features, a 2K restoration of Whiskey Mountain with its original mono audio, an extended cut of They Came from the Swamp with stereo audio, an introduction and commentary for Whiskey Mountain with William Grefé, The Crown Jewels, a featurette on independent film studio and distribution company Crown International Pictures, a William Grefé short from 1981 titled Bacardi and Coke Bonanza, On Location, Grefé in Miami, an archival tour of filming locations, a trailer and a promo gallery for Whiskey Mountain, deleted scenes for They Came from the Swamp, and a bonus exploitation trailer gallery. And of course, these are films of varying quality. Some of them shine pretty brightly, others not so much. My two absolute favorites in this set were Sting of Death and Mako Jaws of Death. Those are just two fun, nutty exploitation movies, exactly what they should be. And sadly, my least favorite in the set is Curse of Tartu, and I was looking forward to seeing that one the most, especially since I love mummy movies, but it is just a boring snore fest, and from what I know, it was written overnight and shot over the course of 6 days, so think about that going into Curse. And lastly, let's talk about these 2K restorations, because these were taken from the best possible film elements that were left of these films. And when I say best possible film elements, I'm saying pretty poor condition film prints. Now, not saying that this is a bad looking set by any means, but this is not one you're going to want to judge Arrow Video on if you're watching them for the first time. You know, this is not a 4K restoration, it's a 2K restoration of film elements that were in really, really bad shape, and all 7 of these films that Arrow have curated to put into this set do have their problems throughout. So they don't look great, but don't get me wrong, these still look really, really good for what they are. Very cheap, very low budget exploitation films from the 60s and 70s. And honestly, I'm just happy that studios like Arrow and Severin have been putting out sets for L. Adamson and Herschel Gordon Lewis and Bill Rebane, and now most recently this William Grefé Collection, because these are films that most likely would have just faded into complete obscurity given another couple decades. So I find it completely amazing that we are getting these great new restorations that are put into these extremely well done packages that clearly show they have great admiration for these directors, and I love them for it. And it is getting late now, and I don't really feel like rearranging my entire Arrow Video section on here, so for right now, I am gonna pop this right on top of the American Horror Project Volume 1. That seems like a good place to keep it for right now. Anyways, that is going to wrap up today's unboxing. As always, I hope you thought this was informative. If you have any questions for me, be sure to ask them down in the comments because I will do my best to try and answer them for you. And everybody, I hope you've been having a great October, and I hope you have a very safe and happy Halloween.